Aside here, Starbuck for the playing ducks in yellow, getting Orc first. And we talked about this before. Foggy, he has the Keeper opening against every single matchup. So how is Keeper opening doing versus Farseer in general?
Well, Farseer is like the new flavor right now, and it seems like it really depends how exactly you want to play with it. So I'm curious, like it depends how Starbuck wants to go about playing against this style here. And also Foggy, like he has multiple options as well. I think Farseer here is totally okay to go against Keeper. Like that's the plan basically, is that like you don't want to play a standard game, or at least like the standard old meta that we saw all the time with the Blade Master into Shadowhunter, Grunt Shaman and stuff, because it's just really, really hard to pull off against a Foggy who has a wealth of experience against that. So instead Starbuck says he's gonna make the game a little iffy, play something different. He opens with 2 grunts, looks like, and he gets the War Mill behind this. There is a lot of Tower Rush options here. He could do one as soon as he has second hero. He could wait until he has, you know, maybe a couple Shamans and do it later on, maybe with Fortified as well. Shadowhunter second is almost the only choice here. And it's more for Foggy also to do a lot of scouting and try and see exactly what he's up against so that he can react properly.
Yeah, to be honest, calculating in Kiwikaki's performance yesterday versus Hunter, there's everything possible here. Kiwi went Farseer solo with the tower push, and he said, instead of a hero, I just wanted more units more quickly. On the other side, we see players like Focus go for Farseer plus Shadowhunter plus early Raiders to lock down units with Ensnare, knowing that their opponent will go Dryads, and then the Serpent Wards against lockdown Dryads are really, really good. And there's other players who go for TC. It's all up in the air, but I guess it's up for the Orc to decide where this game is going.
Do you remember when I played against Ante in Meisterschaft and I went Orc and I Tower Rushed him on Echo Isle with single Farseer? I actually got that build from Kiwikaki. He's been doing it for a very long time, so I wasn't particularly surprised that he did it, and successfully at that too.
You should cast the Americas with us then, until like 3 AM.
Yeah, I mean, if I get offered. Unfortunately, you didn't think I'd be a good fit, so you didn't ask me, but maybe you'll realize my true value eventually.
I mean, the competition is OC Drummer, right? Like, it's rough, but maybe you can improve until the next season, then I might ask you.
I'll do my best, thank you. Just keep giving me feedback.
For sure. Starbuck is in a little bit of trouble here, and Tangle and no deny. That's a lot of experience for Foggy, who's just plowing through this so far with a great inventory as well.
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, where's the second hero here, Starbuck? I don't know. He didn't have the gold until now. He's getting Headhunters behind this. Well, thank God he had that Headhunter transition in the plans, because the Grunts are about to go extinct here for him, and the Keeper, already being level 3, gets even more experience here. No deny attempt by Starbuck. He's trying to chase that Keeper instead, but now we'll give it up.
Yeah, I think he should have put more emphasis on these denies as well. He wanted to do a little bit more damage instead, but was that the right choice? I'm not too sure, and it feels like he really wants to go for that, like similar to Kiwikaki's style, but without a tower push, instead Shaman to have against the Purge, the Entangle, to have the Purge against the Entangle and the Treants. But in the meantime, the Panda's leveling up.
Yeah, this is so weird, like, I fully expected a second hero here for sure. He gets another burrow now as well. If he was getting fortified right now, I would say Starbuck is almost certainly tower rushing very soon. He might still tower rush after this, but he's just gonna come in so late, right? Like Foggy, he has plenty of time to keep leveling his Panda. If he gets level 3 before any sort of push happens and there is no Shadowhunter nearby, with Healing Wave, good luck against that angry Panda.
Yeah,
Here go the peons. He's pulling the boys.
He's pulling the boys, but they're pretty slow, and Foggy sees it coming with his illusion. He can position himself pretty much perfectly now to do a little bit of damage in the middle of the map, and then
the Panda!
Have an advantage in the early game. 40 HP, calculated.
So at least he won't die. That would have been so bad just before the push. But Panda doesn't quite get level 3 here. Foggy starts another Enchanter 4.
Okay.
Does he want to get archers, or is he thinking about glaive throwers?
I think he can use the initial Engine of War for the defense to create some space and time, and then go for some more archers. Yeah, glaives could be good as well. Here are the towers, pretty far away from the main. Man, this is not going to be easy for Starbuck at all. He's inviting us all to a barbecue. Good chain lightning against the wisp, pulls them back. No real kills yet though.
I'm surprised the wisps are going back here, but yeah, Foggy with those illusions at the front tanking some of the damage. This is quite ideal. Tower will go down. Starbuck needs to cancel. Those Breath of Fire are gonna keep on hurting, and there is actually quite a bit of moon juice behind this for Foggy to fall back on. I like that Foggy didn't commit to tier 3, by the way. He definitely doesn't need that here. He just needs to keep on using Breath of Fire. Starbuck using a healing scroll outside of the fight, so that's how much he was worried about these units falling soon later on.
And right on, he had to endure a couple of Breath of Fires already, and there's more coming. But it's daytime now, no natural regeneration on these tier 2 moon wells. Next Breath of Fire, everything is burning, and there was only one heal scroll, not the second one, so I guess Starbuck has to retreat, and there's not even a tower in sight. GG.
Starbuck's gonna tap out, and I feel like a lot of the series of Starbuck against Foggy, they just look like this. Against everybody else, Starbuck could look convincing, he could look great. But against Foggy, he just cannot make anything happen. Foggy's just too solid.
Yeah, I like the choice there by Foggy. Good scouting by him. Sees this coming pretty quickly. Was aware of the possibility. Was just spamming mass units on tier 2. The way you can lose against this, like we saw from Kiwikaki, is if you're too greedy, go tier 3, take too long to have a fighting army, and suddenly there's 4 towers there. And then things get really difficult. But yeah, this Farseer build... Not so sure about it. Also, the creep route at the beginning, he goes for a green camp first, which means that the keeper will be level 2 right away. Other orcs over in Asia have shown us that a Farseer harassing instantly can do much more damage than that oftentimes when the keeper doesn't quite get level 2, and you can be annoying when the keeper's level 1. But here, it's a bit of a different story. And Orc, I guess that was one of his better matchups to get here with random.
Yeah, also one of Foggy's weakest matchups, so I'm not too sure if he really has to go for this Farseer all-in tower push, especially when your early game is kind of bad. I'm still the biggest fan, probably the biggest fan in the world, of Farseer paired with Raiders and Shadowhunter Serpent Wards, but it's just really focus and eye that follow this hype train.
Yeah, we've also seen Lin, for example, with lots of Farseer recently. It has really taken over many different matchups. In this matchup, it's still a bit in flux against Night Elf, whether it's going to be making its way through, but it's pretty fun to see. And Starbuck, obviously a big fan of Farseer.
It's very unfortunate for Starbuck that he doesn't have like multiple days to prepare, because if that was the case, I actually think that he would not play random. He'd probably pick one race and then focus on that matchup, knowing that Foggy is not getting ready, because Foggy is getting ready, for that one specific race, because Foggy is trying to get ready for every race. And that would give Starbuck a better chance than he has now. Because now, since he played yesterday, he only had one day, and he's also a student, so maybe not all of his time can be spent getting ready for this match. And yeah, with random, it's just not working out for him every time that he faces Foggy. The one time that he got close in the past and even won a map, I think, is when he was playing human in a tournament.
That looked pretty good indeed. Not sure, but he feels super confident with random, and rightfully so, probably knowing that Foggy is the better player between the two, and try to surprise him here. But also the keeper build is just so versatile, so cheese proof. Real tough challenge for Starbuck.
Yeah, mentioning Starbuck's human, wasn't it last DreamHack in fall? There was some time window where Starbuck was absolutely in love with the human race, saying things like it's the most versatile, it's the most interesting, it's the most intriguing, blah blah. Is that still the case? You've been kind of practicing with Starbuck, talking with him every now and then, Todd. Is that human honeymoon phase still going, or is it over?
Well, do you see him picking them? Because I sure as hell don't. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't really know if he's memeing. Like in the last DreamHack, there was this interview and they asked about the best races, and he was like, yeah, human's the best race. Then why do you never play them? I never really know, to be honest. We don't really talk about this. But it seems like these days he's playing quite a bit of Elf. I think Elf might actually be his best chance. Yes, Foggy has a wealth of experience in Elf Mirror, but on paper, in terms of biggest hard counter potential, you could just open Demon Hunter if you got Elf. against Foggy, and he's going to be opening Keeper, which is salvageable, but still would maybe favors Starbuck slightly, but he randoms something else than Elf here.
All right, we see both players, and I guess Starbuck will be decently happy with that, because Starbuck gets his former main race Undead. So let's kick it off. Match number 2, Foggy with match points, Starbuck facing lower bracket. Here we are. Not gonna be easy for Starbuck, because especially on this map, Foggy knows exactly what to do against Undead, because he faced Happy here a million times, and he even took quite some maps off of the Emperor. Starbuck upper right as Undead, Foggy bottom left. Should be a keeper again.
Yeah, and build order-wise, this is, you know, as smooth as possible here for Foggy as well, because he's always gonna want to do this exact creep route against Undead anyway. Open Keeper, creep that first small camp, scout shortly after. Starbuck, usually like random players, they have the particularity of, you know, because they don't really commit to one race, not necessarily having to play meta, and they can throw a lot of pocket builds at their opponent. Starbuck, we've seen him in the past actually winning a map against Moon with a fast expansion into double crypt fiends. That was on Tidehunters, though. A much easier map to expand on than Conceal Hill. So I don't think he's going to try that again here, but who knows? He might choose to play entirely different than regular meta against a Foggy whom he knows is really good against Undead.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, Starbuck could just go Gargoyles. We haven't seen that a lot here. It's usually always about the ghouls early on. Starbuck, of course, watches a lot of tournaments, knows exactly what's up in the Undead meta, and goes also for this forward Nerubian tower, which is a little bit protected by the altar. Gives a lot more vision here. So, Foggy, biggest fan of the Sapper. Maybe this building position makes sense against Foggy.
Yeah, it's a little bit... he copied Happy on this one for sure. With the Zig at the front like this. Even covering it a little bit with the altar is really cute. Up until you lose your hero and then, yeah, you get sappered on your altar. Then it's not going to be so cute, but I like it. Good protection. And Starbuck, I still don't know what the game plan is here. If he wants to expand, he definitely didn't make it obvious, because he didn't buy Sacrificial Skull, he didn't get any extra Acolytes. So it might just be a standard start where he tries and creep his DK to level 3 quickly, but Foggy's the one quicker on the creeping right now.
Yeah, it's not as aggressive as you would expect from a player like Happy or Axelord. They are usually right in your face early on to keep Foggy away from the level 3, because that is his comfort zone. But now we do see the Sacrificial Skull. Might be a little late, or he just use it for creeping at the shop.
Foggy, beautifully, by the way, dodged the card with the Wisp. The Wisp that's scouting the main right now. And he does it again!
Oh, wow.
And that's why this is so, like, you might think, okay, maybe this is not worth it, just detonate the Wisp. No, he wants to keep that Wisp alive, not just for lumber, but also because he wanted to check if there was a tech from his opponent. He sees no tech and he must know already. Look, he's checking the expo with another Wisp. Foggy is so smart.
That is also 2 coils wasted, which is something you would really like to have during this creep, especially on the Null Overseer. But Foggy thinks, okay, I'm fine. If you expand, I expand, and right on the spot here. Fairly easy to do with the tree, but there's no Engine of War here. And he has no second Entangle. This is actually, well, takes a little bit of damage. Now there's Nutrients, now they tank, that's all good. On the other side, Talisman of Evasion at level 3 for Starbuck. Very, very different approaches we said, and maybe that early 2-base play is taking Foggy out of the comfort zone. I'm not too sure how this instant 2-base fares for Night Off.
I think it's fine. Like, usually you're not supposed to be able to get away with an early expand, but Foggy, through his great scouting and adaptation to the creep route of Starbuck, was able to start a tree, which, if it finishes, he has so much experience now as well in the longer games against Undead, because he's played Happy literally every single weekend for 2 years in the Open Cup Finals or at DreamHack. So he's going to have way more experience, and I expect him to be way better at this stage of the game. If you're Starbuck and you try to go for an expo like this, you need to make sure it finishes, which right now, it's going to get cancelled. It's an absolute disaster. Starbuck must almost be in disbelief. Like whatever he throws at Foggy, Foggy's ready for everything.
Oh yeah, it's like playing tennis with a wall. He has good damage here with the ghouls. This game is going into the chaos realm a little bit, but Foggy got the staff, staffed up to the whiz, past the treants ready, and of course if there's an acolyte, an additional one, he will entangle them. It's a lot about doing damage now for Starbuck, trying to catch up. He gets an archer, he gets a moonwheel, but Foggy is fully aware and willing to go in for this trade. Starbuck needs to cancel this necropolis and didn't. There was a lot of resources gone, and now he's supply blocked as well.
Oh, the trans on the other side. I like how you say, by the way, tennis with a wall. I'm pretty sure it will take anyone semi-decent at the game to just absolutely crush me, and I wouldn't score a single point, but I guess we can also settle for the wall. Starbuck still with no tech.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He restarts the gold mine and the keeper is there?
This is so expensive. It is a cancel now, I guess, but Foggy is already on tier 2. Like, not only is his expansion up and mining in a second, but he's also tech ahead. Like, he could end this right here, right now.
The keeper's gonna staff back as well. And 250 mana, let the entangle show begin. This goal's gonna expire very quickly, and Starbuck, this has to be frustrating. He barely can kill a unit. He can't make anything happen at all in those games. Trans canceling his necropolis at the expo right now. He desperately tries to restart some ziggurats.
Incredible performance by Foggy once again. We were wondering, was this maybe a little bit of a long day for him? Too long of a day for him? Nope. He can play Night Elf versus Undead at any time of the day. If his opponent is not happy, he looks like the dominator in this matchup, and sometimes we forget how good Foggy really is in this matchup because his win rate certainly isn't, but his game, man, it's just out of this world.
Well, to be honest, I'm pretty sure if you take his win rates outside of Happy, it's pretty insane. But of course, when you had Happy in there and like you basically never win, yeah, it's different.
Will that ziggurat finally finish? Yes, it does, but he might even be able to destroy it. Costs a lot of repair here. Desperate attempt to find a surround, but the staff is ready in 10 seconds, so he can just get out. And another acolyte down. Whoa, what a disaster. But at least we got the tech running, finally. Oh my god.
Foggy with the exact right amount of aggression, all the right timings here. He's not overextending, you know, he's not losing his archer sloppily, still putting everything back. And he just will not, even gonna pick up the tome if he wants to.
Nope.
Is he merciful? Does he leave that to Starbuck?
Nope.
No,
takes it. A little bit of extra armor and attack speed will not decide the game. Of course, Starbuck surrounds not sticking too well. Forgot to bring the glue. And also his ghoul run-bys, they're always scouted. We saw it between Happy and Spiral. Spiral didn't have a wisp on the left-hand side, so he wasn't aware that the ghouls are coming. Foggy always knows.
All right, this is Haunted Gold Mine number 6. This is gonna be the right one. France immediately lock onto it. And Keeper's headed across the map with double mana pots, so I guess not, no.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, they say lucky number 7, right? Isn't that the number?
Well, in this game, I don't know if even that would help him.
A million treants coming in once again. Dryads here if he wants to. He can dispel. Panda brings the heat, and Foggy is just mining and mining and mining and mining from 2 bases. Starbuck desperately trying to get this around, but it won't even get the kill. And yep, that's another cancel.
He doesn't have Town Portal here, Foggy, so there's a chance if he can double surrounds, he gets one of the heroes. Like he falls this staff on this one, but yeah, the Panda immediately started running. So stuff for preservation, and Panda's far away enough that he won't get surrounded. Very well done by Foggy, who just is reading the game perfectly at all times. A lot of elves here would have just gone for a little bit of creeping, you know, and been like, okay, I just need Panda 3. Foggy's like, nah, I just don't want to let you expand. You're never going to expand. You're not allowed to.
I want to be richer than you are, and yeah, that's working out so perfectly. There's an annoying ghoul now, but the Tree of Life can just swat it like a fly. Foggy on the...
Shadow 4. He's showing up.
That took some time. But yeah, why not? He won't need it.
Watch this, he's gonna staff the keeper when the card is in the air. Superhero landing, superhero landing.
Boom, there we go. Lich was coming. Nice attempt by Starbuck to surprise him here. But of course, there's no way to surprise Foggy in this matchup. He's seen it all and experienced it all and suffered through it all. Starbuck is getting a couple of kills now, which is not too bad, but yeah, it's also not too great. Foggy with pretty much an easy victory.